Morning, everyone. This is Terry from Philippine Journey. Terry's Philippine Journey coming at you with a little discussion this morning about power. How much power do you need and for your bike? And it really kind of depends on you and what you're going to do with it. There's a lot of variables, but I'll try to discuss a few of them here in the next few minutes for you. So. My opinion, if you want a really great workout and you want to contribute a great deal to the effort, really push it up the hills, and you're only interested in doing 5-10 miles an hour or something, potentially up a hill, a 250 watt, 500 watt system is where you want to be. You're going to, be able to contribute a lot of effort to that. Of course, your, range and things that you can do with it. I mean, because it's, I can kind of consider it low power. These systems you see in front of you, the green one, which is stripped down at the moment because I had a controller issue. But it was a 4,000 watt system, and the other two, the yellow and orange ones, a 3,000 watt system. Also, my bike's in shops up for sale, so I wanted to get this out as well because it's a little hard to talk about bikes and things and show people things when you can't, you don't have anything. So if anybody's interested and they're local to the Dayton, Ohio area, be sure to send me a message because I have hundreds and thousands of parts, 2 or 3 dozen wheel sets, 3 recumbent trikes here, all kinds of things. So too many to list. Best send me a message of what you might be looking for. Well, back to the topic. So my viewpoint and what I wanted with my bikes is I'm a kind of an ex-racer, long distance rider. So when I built these bikes, I wanted something that mimicked kind of the way I rode. And I also grew up riding 4-wheelers, 3-wheelers, dirt bikes, street bikes. And so I'm quite comfortable with bikes with throttles and power, and it doesn't offend, bother me or about that. I'm quite comfortable with that, and I still feel like even though these bikes are more high powered, they're still, bikes. They're not going to keep up with even my 4,000 watt system. It's not going to outrun a motorcycle or a car by no means. It does have a pretty good top speed, about 46 miles an hour, but it doesn't have the acceleration of a car. It's more like a mini bike because 4,000 watts is really about 5 or 6 horsepower, somewhere around there. It's 750 watts per for 1 horse, so you can kind of add that up. So when you got an 80-pound bike, it's really not that much. So I can go, obviously faster up the hills than I could by myself, but on my own power. But I would say for me personally, I was able to ride at 20-30 miles an hour pretty comfortably. Less comfortable after, towards the 30-in mark, but I could still get there and hold on to it for a little bit. So, and that's what I feel these bikes kind of do, at least the 3,000 watt. Surely the 1,500 to 2,500 watt systems, that's more about what level of performance that is kind of similar to what I was able to ride at for many years, in my opinion. Certain circumstances, up hills and things like that, it's a little, a bit faster. So, and then again, how much you weigh plays into it. if you're 100 pounds versus a 200-pound person or a 300 or 400-pound person, then the systems are just like any other performance bike or car or anything. It takes away horsepower, so you can say you have a 4,000 watt system, but if you're 400 pounds, a person like my wife, which is about 90 pounds, on a 3,000 watt system will just leave you up the hills and everywhere because the horsepower to weight ratio. And then again, if you're like towing things, you're going to do some touring, you got a 100, 200 pounds or whatever you may be carrying on the back. That also plays into the consideration of what you might be looking for as well. So again, the power goes up. I don't find I don't find the 3,000 watt systems overly powerful. I think they're very powerful, but they're not. They just mimic a more of a professional style rider, in my opinion. They're at close to that level. We're slightly over. Now the 4,000 watt system, 72 volt that I got built up on the green one, now it definitely outdoes, it's above an elite athlete or a Tour de France style rider. Now again, if you're going to put you're going to tour with that and you've got 100, 200 pound rig you're towing, then the 4,000 really isn't that, that much, because you're going to need the extra torque and power when it comes to pulling the load and going up hills, especially, because the hills is where the power of the system, pays off and makes a big difference. On flat ground, 250 and 500 watts is plenty, really. You're not going to accelerate, real quickly or anything. It's going to be more bike-like, but it depends on the feeling that you're looking for and what you're wanting to achieve. Like I said, for me, I wanted to go 20 to 30 miles an hour relatively easy. I was comfortable with riding motorcycles, so I'm, like that kind of experience where something's, got a little get up and go. I have biked for many years and pedaled, probably got a couple 100,000 miles on my legs pedaling. So I'm good with that as well, but I'm also like to have a little fun and like the motorsports as well. So I think that's where the green one, the 72 volt, kind of starts to blur the lines a little bit. To me, it's more like the orange and yellow one's a bike, very fit rider experience, and the green one is more like a hybrid between a little motorcycle, Honda 200 or 150, 125 of not the two-stroke, but the four-stroke. It kind of has a little bit of that type of feel. Still bicyclish, but border, starting to cross over to, it's got some get up and go there. So, and again, if you're overweight or a bigger person, just a bigger person, and you're toting, then to me, I probably would not have anything less than a 3,000 watt if I was going to tour. And toting the trailer, I was bigger, because you're going to really struggle up the hills carrying 100, 200 pound of gear or whatever you may be carrying. And if you're especially a larger rider as well. So that's kind of my 2 cents on things to consider, some of the things to consider. So it's really kind of your personality, and touch on a little bit of the hub drive, mid drive debate while we're at it. We're kind of throw that in the mix a little bit as well. again, it goes back to my motorcycle experience and ATVs and different, just cars, anything motorized sport. You get a sense of a hub drive gives you a sense of something pushing you, like a car or something. The difference between a front wheel drive and a rear wheel drive car. So it's very similar to that. So a mid-drive seems more bicycle type of power because you move your legs and you don't realize that the motor's helping you as much as it does because it kind of blurs the lines and it's pulling you from the front and using your existing drivetrain just like a regular bike would be. So it mimics that feel much more. And the hub drive is like somebody's running behind you or propelling you from behind. So that's kind of the difference in the feel between them two. I don't know if I touched on that in the other videos, but that's kind of, so it depends on your taste. If you really want to try to mimic the bike feel, go mid-drive if that's really important for you. If you don't care, then pick what system you deem is best for you. They're all decent. I just a little partial to the hub drives. I just think they're overall a little more reliable in my opinion. They have fewer parts and things to go wrong. So I just think that promotes the more reliable system in the long run. So, and again, if you're touring, to me that makes good sense because you're out somewhere and you don't want something that has multiple things to go wrong with it. And the hub motors have been around and used for touring for many, many years. So they're pretty much electric bikes and things are founded on was the hub motor. That's what started it all as far as I'm aware of. So, but that's it. If you have any questions or comments, or feel free to shoot them out and share your opinions as well, because after all, this is just my opinion. I've been bicycling for 35 plus years, but I'm relatively new into the game of electrics. I've been doing that for about 3 years now, and I've built about 8 bikes. I work and build bikes for people over the last 20, 30 years. Just something I do as a hobby and enjoy. So, but that's kind of my 2 cents. And yeah, so I'm trying to think if there's anything else to talk about, but I think that's it for this video. So appreciate your time and thanks for watching, and you guys have a great week. Talk to you later. Thanks from Terry.